Now we're live.
Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, sound check. Can you hear us? They see us.
You see me. Where's the camera?
The icons. All right, we're live.
What
They
am I
can hear us.
wearing?
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our little stream. We just want to show off a few things we're working on and talk about what we're going to be working on after as well. And have a little Q&A afterwards as well. So
A little bit of Q&A as a treat.
yeah. So our last stream was the 1.0 release, which was really exciting, and then we were thinking about when we're going to do the next stream. So we just kind of been waiting for our update to be more or less ready. So we just started a public beta of the rental store yesterday. So I'll be showing off the rental store and kind of what went into that, and then after the rental store, I want to show off the progress we made on the cat cafe and the pet system, and then
There'll be a musical interlude between that and
then
dedicated condos.
Yes, and I also want to show off the dedicated condo stuff we've been working on. The dedicated condo stuff's going to be like a little demo. I'll show that it works, but behind the scenes there's a lot of change for it, but it's like not a lot of visual changes, so it's like kind of hard to show on the stream.
It's not fun to watch.
It's cool, but it's like
unless
it's not like a new map.
Yeah.
What? Come on.
Well, we learned in the last stream that everyone's quite dorky.
Yeah.
So they'll probably enjoy looking at UI.
I'm pretty excited about the whole dedicated condos though, and that was like the beta that we pushed out was also just to kind of test that our backend's working with all the changes we made to make dedicated condos happen. So it's kind of been a lot of work going on in the background, and then we've been finishing off stuff like the rental store and the cat cafe as well.
Also, save questions so we're actively doing Q&A.
Yeah, save your questions. Like if you have any questions,
copy.
just
put them
remember
in a notepad.
Put them on a little notebook.
Because I'll go through all of them in a sequential order.
Yeah. That is the plan. I just realized I had to turn off workshop. And someone just texted me. Alright.
Did the workshop text you?
No. I just turned it off. Unfortunately, this person turned into like an anime model into literally just skeleton. Like it's just a skeleton.
Unfortunately,
that's unfortunate. It's like instantly skeleton.
Sounds like an upgrade.
It's like, oh well, that's what happens. All right. Anyways, let me get into this before I get off topic again.
Yeah, play the video.
Play the. I don't have a video. I'm not that prepared.
Play the 30-minute introduction.
30-minute introduction
with slideshow with pictures.
No, I don't have that. So, for those who have not heard, I'm going to repeat myself. We just released a public beta, so you can actually go ahead and switch your branch over to this beta and see the rental store yourself. But the rental store has now been completed. Not completely completed though, but it is completed. We're adding one more shelf because we forgot Little Crusaders. But also I wanted to add a shelf that is random maps, so like maps that just came out but of different game worlds. So I added that shelf as well. And that will be pushed out today for the beta. But you can play this now and mess around with it. I'm not expecting a lot of people to join the beta probably for this, but the whole point of betas is for us to test and make sure that everything is working and it doesn't have glaring issues, and then we'll be pushing this out to everyone.
Can I say something? So the rental store is just a rental store in like concept. It's just kind of imitating a video store, but you can, like, it's not for actually renting condos. It's just a way to, like, make an interactable menu to browse condos.
Yeah. Essentially,
workshop condos specifically.
Yeah. It's essentially like a really cool way. It's in the Condo Hub, as you can see. It's a really quick and cool way to like browse what maps people have made without having to open up the browser. But also it's so people can play with you like more easily. So think of it like the Game World ports or the matchmaking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially what this is. So if I were to be like, I want to play some mini golf maps with my friends, you know, this is a good way to do it. So this is the mini golf maps. There's a couple issues with the canvas not set. That actually just started happening because we're pulling images
because you
off
wanted
of...
to stream.
Yeah, because I wanted to stream. We're pulling images off of Steam, so sometimes it fails, so I'll have to fix that. But either way, you pull a map off the shelf, and then you just kind of throw it at the TV, and it's pretty straightforward, and then you hop into this little area. And then other people can hop in as well. There are people here, but and then that's kind of it. And it just has a little countdown, and then anyone that's in this little thing will go and play this game. Although I don't want to do that right now, but yeah. But if this person does, you know, if they want to go, they can do that. So that's kind of what's cool about it. There's 2 TVs, just because I think one was just, you know, not enough. And it's not, you know, it's not usually that busy all the time right now, but we might have to add more TVs. We'll see. And then what's on the shelves, we've got like popular maps, and then we've got ball race maps, and then we also have this random selection. This refreshes every 10 minutes. These are just random condos that have been uploaded. They have no, like, you know, it doesn't rank them on rating or anything. And then we also have new releases. These are maps that just came out. And then we have all the game worlds, of course. So STNL and Virus and some Massacre. You know, some have more shelves than others. If we need to expand them, you know, it should be pretty easy to just push the store back if we want to. Accelerate doesn't have any, of course, because the SDK is not done. That is something I am working on slowly in the background. It is a little bit more work than the other game worlds because it's just all these different checkpoints and stuff you got to do. But we are adding another shelf for Little Crusaders. What? Yeah.
I'm gonna ask, do Game World maps show on new releases or just condos?
Oh, on here? Yeah, this is just condos right now. That's the shelf. I'm adding a shelf here that's new Game World releases. Like it's
You're
not
very
here.
bad at putting the camera where you're talking.
It's right here. It'll be right here, like in this area.
You're getting roasted on the font as well, or the.
Huh? What font?
The lowercase and the uppercase.
Oh, well, that's because this font was like from the original like map. We just had that design, and then these are actually like they're generated. So it's not a huge deal. It's not a huge deal, but you know. Anyways, so yeah, this is right here. Will be the new shelf. It'll have the new Game World maps, but like I said, you know, this whole thing can be expanded. We kind of already expanded it before we released this, so it's pretty cool, and I want to add more to it as we go. I think it'd be nice to change pages, if that makes sense, because this is like the top STNL maps, but if you want to go further, you kind of can't. So that was something else I wanted to... It doesn't make a lot of sense physically because the cartridges are real, but it would be nice to just, you know, it's a video game. We'll just, you know.
Well, that's why you make a Rolodex sort of rotating shelf system.
Yeah.
And incorporate that and spend 12 months of development time on that.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
and then it can be not networked very well, and it'd be very exciting.
Yeah.
And yeah, Little Crusaders, we destroyed it.
No, I don't know how we forgot it. We put all these down and then we were like, we missed it. I don't know how. But it's already back. It'll be out today, like the new shelf for that. So.
It's the Forgotten Generation.
No, no. I like Little Crusaders a lot.
I love Well, I don't love Little Crusaders. I love
Wow.
Zombie Massacre,
Oh, okay.
but I love the Little Crusaders community.
Yeah. I really like the maps people made and everything for Little Crusaders. They're really fun.
Hmm.
But the I don't know what else I was gonna say. That's kind of it for this though. It's a small feature, but it's really nice to like have, and we've had it in work in progress on the Condo Hub for a while. There's a lot of like tech stuff that had to happen for this to happen. Like it's hard to describe, but we had to make a bunch of tools just to make this happen. But it's done. So now we can do other weird stuff if we wanted to with Workshop. Like we can come up with some other ideas if we ever wanted to. So we can query and get some information about Workshop stuff that we weren't able to before. So that's pretty exciting too on its own. But um, I think this is a really fun little feature. I think people can use it to find new maps and play maps with their friends, and that's kind of the point. You just be like, oh, I want to play this Oak Springs, and then you just play it, or Desert Bus, which
Yeah.
just got thrown on there. The other thing that's cool is the TVs don't change when people travel, so you can see what they just traveled to, and travel there too if you want, like play it as well. So that's about it for that.
People are asking about if the teleporters will get an art pass.
Oh yeah, that was oh okay. I was getting
That was another
I was getting
classic.
getting yelled at for that. Going, what? You can't just scale up the TV. I'm like, well, I like the TV. So I do like the TV. I wanted something like that, that it slots in and all that. But yeah, that thing's gotta get an art pass. So
Yeah.
it's just there for right now. It's just kind of
Um,
like I needed something to get the idea across.
and someone asked, I'm just answering questions that are specific to the part that we're
Oh
talking
yeah,
about,
that's
but
fine.
so someone's asking what happens if people are in the portal and someone else throws a different cartridge at the TV.
Oh yeah, so if it's like at the countdown's like 15 seconds it starts out, right? If the countdown's below 10 seconds, it won't let you change it. So you have
Oh,
that like 5-second buffer to change it, or someone else can
to
change it.
troll people.
I guess yeah, to troll people. But if someone, yeah, if someone's, I think I also might have changed that too. I might change it more to make it so if one person's standing in there, you can't change it at all. Because I thought about that too when I was testing. I'm like, yeah, someone's gonna swap it right before they travel, and they're
Yeah,
suddenly going somewhere else.
I think if it's empty, it's fair game. But if
Yeah,
anyone's standing in there,
yeah, I think that's fine if it's empty. It changes. So that's
and
also something to test in the beta. Make sure that kind of works as well. So, but
yeah, and someone else asked, "Are you going to add more decorations, or is that the final look for the rental store?" I know that when we initially were talking about the rental store, Mac wanted me to do more movie posters
yeah,
for that, and then I just got off track with 500 other things. But I would like to go back and add that, and maybe add like the signage that you guys were talking about that kind of explains what you do in there a little bit more,
yeah.
to get the idea across. But yeah, I'm sure decoration. We always like art passing future or past pieces, so
Well, and
um,
it's also one of those things like I'd rather it work and be there, so people can like actually use it, and then we can always make it better. Like we can always make it and have more art or more features and stuff. Like if people really
mm,
like the rental store, we can expand
mm,
it, and like I said, we can add more shelves. So
yeah.
it's actually in a really nice spot in the condo hub too. Um,
Mm,
it's just in that corner, so it really can just expand any direction without hitting any other things. So
I
I think it's pretty good.
I just need the ominous corner with the Silence of the Lambs
Oh,
DVD movie cover that
yeah.
can my childhood trauma.
Well,
Blockbuster.
I just did a little sound pass for it, so it plays some music now. Maybe I'll add like a spooky section.
The
I
creepy thumbnails
the
section.
creepy stuff. I think it'd be cool to explore some. You kind of just gave me an idea. I kind of want to explore
Oh
something where
god.
like Halloween maybe it switches the maps to like be Halloween themed. That would be
That
pretty
could be
cool.
fun.
You could do something where people tag it or something, tag their maps and go, I want to be part of the Halloween event or whatever.
Mhm.
There was
And
something else we were working on in the background for the Condo Hub, which has some tech stuff done for it already, where we can feature maps. And I want to do that. I want to have like in the Condo Hub maps that we feature or um, part of the contest or something, and we can just like
mhm.
have it on a rotation. Be like, here, check
Yeah,
these out for the week or the month or whatever. That would
that's
be
been a
really cool.
long desired thing.
Exactly, and we kind of
um,
need like the rental store for that to kind of work, so you can pull it off the recommended, and play it. So
and there's two more questions, and then we can move on.
yeah.
Someone asked, "Will there be a cool new way to display dedicated condos too?" And that's the thing.
Well, right now, dedicated condos are still part of like the hub doors, so they do show up as like specific doors. But uh, I mean, I guess that's kind of the cool thing about the condo hub is you can add things like that. I'm not sure what our plans are just yet with that stuff. Like, I think we need to sit down and think about it a little more. Um, but I do know they do show up as doors, and the way the condo hub door system works is once you're assigned a door, it should stay like that for as long as it can. So at least you got that for dedicated condos right now.
Mm.
So that
And
that's something we just haven't talked about yet, like as a team, about what we're gonna do with the condo hub.
yeah, and then the next question, it's more of like a confirmation thing.
Hmm.
The rental store was just made for cutesy artistic details. Essentially, it's just a pretty way of it's an interactive menu. Essentially,
Yeah,
it's like an artistic touch to a menu. Instead of going through the workshop browser, you grab a VHS tape or whatever and throw it at the TV.
it
Um,
it's a good way for you to browse like the browser with friends too, because when you're browsing the workshop, you're just kind of looking at it yourself, unless you're like streaming it or something, I guess. But like
mm,
other people can't see the same maps you're seeing, so that's kind
yeah.
of the idea. Is like something you can go browse the gallery with friends and then immediately start the game there without having to go to a menu and disconnect and reconnect and all that stuff. That's kind of the idea. Is to stay immersed, and then since the condo hub's connected to the plaza as well, you can go from the plaza to the condo hub to a map without having to
Mhm.
touch a menu. So I think that's really fun. I think also when VR is ready, the rental store is going to be very nice in VR too, because now you
Mhm.
don't have to access a menu. You can just go up to an actual like rental store and then grab a map and play it and stay in VR for the most part, right? So I think that's cool too. So I always like immersive stuff, and it's always fun when we do them. We wanted to do rental store a while ago, but we had some technical things, like we weren't able to get all the information we needed to get, so we had to figure that out for it to happen. So other than those things, I wanted to get it out sooner, but we had other things. We had to tackle all the other stuff with 1.0, so that's
Yes.
why it got finished right after 1.0. It was like
Mhm.
it was actually been done for a while. Like what, 2 or 3 weeks now? The rental store's been done.
Yeah. And it's been in progress for years. Just a
Yeah, on
side
and off. Like it's not like,
project. Yeah.
yeah, not like crazy like progress on it. Like we had the idea for it, and then uh, I don't know, we pushed it off because it wasn't like all the other features in the game. It
Okay, sorry.
wasn't completely planned from the beginning to make that. Hmm?
There are two more questions.
Okay.
Um, so someone asked, so someone could claim a door forever though. Is there a timeout for that? Like for a dedicated condo?
I mean,
It feels like they
yeah.
should be their own server screen
I
or
have to
screen serverless.
I have to look at it. It's been a bit since I worked on the door stuff. I believe there is a timeout, but for the most part, it keeps it for as long as the server is up. So I'll have to look at it again. So if someone does take that door, it's like they take it. But the thing is if the doors have maxed out and there's like no more doors left, it does kind of change how that works, and it pushes the doors around more so that people who
Yeah.
have just started a condo have a door. So it might shift them around. So like I said, I gotta look at that, and that is a good point. So I'll take a look at that before we do the dedicated condos, and make sure that that is a fair thing. And
Okay.
dedicated condos do have a special symbol. Um, I might need to make it more obvious, but they do have a symbol next to them to know that are dedicated condos. They also don't have a username as well, so because there is no user to a dedicated condo. So that is another way you can determine it.
Spooky.
Yeah, because there's no one in it. It runs its
um,
own way.
the next question, in all caps. Will the TV portal display the game mode so I know what I will pop into if someone else pops it in?
Yeah, I was actually going to finish that. There's supposed to be the symbol of the game world, or
Okay.
probably maybe a logo might be better actually than a symbol. But
Mhm.
yes, there's going to be an indicator of what that game world is. So it'll say like mini golf. Also, the TV screen is a little darker than I kind of expected it to be. I might make the picture brighter because some of those maps you throw. Oh, how dare they notify me? Some of those maps they throw on there, um, and you just can't see the picture. So I'll fix all that stuff. I mean it's good. You should put that in also our beta suggestions too, so I don't forget. But I'm gonna write it down right now.
And then questions keep appearing as we try to move on.
Yes.
They sound like good questions. This one is quite nerdy. Can we have an MOTD for dedicated condos? Maybe HTML?
Um,
I
I
don't know what that
actually
means.
have that on my feature want list as well. So message of the day is pretty cool. It's a I don't know if everyone knows what those are, but like because it's kind of an older game thing, but it just is a little pop up when you join, and then people can put
Yeah.
stuff like, "Oh, here's my rules for the server." Although people also in other games will put ear blastingly loud music, so we'll have to
Oh
be careful
boy.
how we do message of the day. But
Well, condos are just a gamble, anyways, so I think it's
yeah,
kind of a
I don't know.
prepare
It's
yourself.
true, but for some reason, message of the day is like the place where they put the music, and it is so loud all the time. But anyways, I do think
Um,
it's a cool feature to have, and it's on my list of like things that dedicated condos should have is like a little message of the day, because people
um,
want to establish their community and what the whole point of the server is.
yeah, like establish rules or
Mm.
direct people to
Or
places.
give like
I assume.
the mood, set the tone,
Yeah, or say like,
essentially.
"Hey guys, welcome to my condo.
Yeah.
Drinks are in the fridge. Help yourself." Um, so for dedicated condos, do they use Steam API keys? Like, will they
Yes.
show up on the Steam server list,
Yes,
like
they
how
do.
the plazas do?
We can go into the dedicated condos if that's what you want to do
Okay.
here. Let me just
Who goes
game
there?
world.
Oh,
What?
Geez,
it's
I wasn't
Ethan.
expecting
Oh.
to acknowledge it immediately.
Oh, I didn't even.
Sorry, I got
I
startled.
have notifications turned off, so I didn't know you were in here. All right, let me pull up my really simple, but not so simple.
Wait, someone asked about Linux.
Yes, I will get into all of this. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold your questions, because let me show some stuff off. All right.
Everyone say hello to Ethan. He's new here. Just
Yeah,
started.
it's my first day. Be nice to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, first day.
I just flew in from Aldi, and boy, let me tell you, my arms are beat.
Oh, okay.
You're flapping your way here.
All right. Let me see if I can do this right. I'm gonna show my screen, which is gonna be a little scary here. All right, there we go. I got it. All right. So, let's go into the dedicated condo thing, since it seems to be the next topic, and then I'll show the cat cafe after that, which is right behind my screen. Hopefully you can actually read.
It's right behind you, isn't
read
it?
half of this stuff. Is there a good way to like
I don't
zoom
want.
in?
When I look at that, I don't want to touch it.
Mm.
It looks
This?
like
This?
it looks like I'm not supposed to. Yeah, someone will, but it's not me.
Well, to explain, so the dedicated server stuff, the way this is going to work is you download it off of Steam. You can use Steam CMD. This is where it's going to get a little nerdy, okay? You can download it
It
off
already
of
started.
Steam library, and you can just search up a Tarry Night dedicated server. I have to update. I haven't done all this yet, but I have to update the artwork for it. It's really old, but we're going to do all that when we release it. But you'll download it, and you're basically going to be looking at a folder here. It's going to be really cool. You can also download it off of Steam CMD, which is just a downloading program, and you can do that on Linux and Windows. You don't have to have Steam to download it, and you don't have to have Steam running on the computer that you're going to run it off of. So, but for Windows and for people who are, not incredibly tech savvy, I have made a GUI for launching dedicated servers for Windows only. For Linux, I expect Linux people to know what they're doing because they usually do. But we'll have a guide for Linux. Yeah, well, they're used to command lines, and it's actually not that many command lines to run, and we'll provide some scripts probably and things that we use for hosting our servers. But for Windows, I made this nice little GUI. It's pretty straightforward, and hopefully I might have to zoom in. How do I zoom in? Can we not
put your glasses on?
Let me zoom in. Transform. No, just zoom. Why do they not make it easy for me to do this? Whatever. I can't.
So if I sent you a message right now, it would pop up on your screen.
Gonna zoom the whole thing. Huh?
If I sent you a message right now, would it pop up on your screen?
Not anymore because I just closed that.
Okay.
I didn't expect it to do that.
Good choice.
Alright. Whatever. I can't zoom it in. I don't know why.
I thought you
it's
just
readable.
did.
No, I tried to zoom it in. It doesn't work that well.
Here, I'll read it to everyone. TU dedicated server.
Thank you.
Tarry Night dedicated condo.
Magnifying
Condo
glass.
name. Max dedicated condo. Help guide.
The magnifier. Alright.
That's
Yeah,
all you get. That's the free trial.
Did that actually work, or did that break everything in the streaming service?
Oh, there you go. No, that's perfect.
Okay, thank you. I didn't even know if this actually worked when you're streaming. Alright, so essentially, you have the condo name, like you were already saying. So you can change this to be anything, and then you can change the port, and of course you can change the map. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with that? Don't move when I'm doing that. And then you can change the max players. And then and then you can also have some other stuff. So autosave is a feature, and then you can also do backups. So if you want to have the whole thing, and then these are your authentication tokens, which we'll explain in a guide. And then also I added this little thing where you can import your condo, and that basically you just select a map and it'll put it in. And then also there's a button for admins, so you can add admins to your condo. And that's all this does. And then you can click Start Server. And so let me zoom out because this thing is crazy.
Why does it give you two cursors?
I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I don't use that thing that much. Anyways, so
you do.
So all you do is click Start Server, and then there you go. I'm running a dedicated condo. That's it. You will have to, you can use the GUI, but you have to import a condo map. I already imported one. And then, of course, for all the details, I made a guide. So don't worry. There's a guide that explains everything. And so we'll release this guide. It will explain every single crazy thing there is, including how to set it up for Linux and how to run it without the GUI. You don't have to use the GUI. I just like using it personally because it just edits all the files for you. So, and then it will go into what
You want to
the
explain what a GUI is?
graphical
To
user interface. That is what a
thank
GUI
you.
is. That, you're welcome. Sorry, I know.
I'm sure
It's
somebody
a
out there
menu.
is like, thank you
It's a
for that.
beautiful menu that launches it.
It's a menu.
It's just a launcher. It edits a bunch of files for you,
GUI.
so you don't have to think about it. But for the people that want to think about it or do crazy things, you can. So, and then, yeah, the guide is already actually on here. I don't know if you want to link that. Actually, I could probably do that.
I can't do anything.
It's not ready,
Nope.
so, I guess I could link it, but, hold on. Work in progress. Dedicated.
I was just making sure people actually did know the GUI thing.
That's fine.
Also,
I
figured
posted it in the Twitch chat,
people
but
know what you're saying.
this guide
Is there a
is,
mature
huh?
condo check option? Someone said.
Not for the
Goopity goop.
launcher yet, but you do have. I mean, you have to put the what is the keyword for it? So yeah, I'll add a checkbox for it.
Mm.
Um.
Okay,
Anyways,
there's other questions.
there.
Unless you were not done.
I was just gonna say on the guide that I'm still working on this guide because we're not releasing dedicated condos just yet, but you can take a look at it and kind of see what we're going to be doing. It doesn't actually work yet, so don't think this stuff is actually usable yet. We'll make an announcement when it's ready, but you can look at the guide. I don't care. Like it just gives you an example of like how it's gonna work. And yeah, there's a chat log system and all that stuff, and you can give yourself admin, and you can also add a moderation tag as well, like a moderator tag, which is in the beta as well if you want to mess with the public beta. So that's kind of the quick demo of dedicated condos. It's really exciting. I can also probably, hold on, switch over here and show that it shows up in the serverless, I guess. Tower
Can I throw you questions?
You throw me some questions about that, and I'm going to move to the Cat Cafe after that. So.
Okay. So someone asked, will you be able to give friends perma-build permissions in dedicated condos?
Yeah. So I guess that's what I'll show off. Hold on. So I already have a dedicated condo, so you'll see it actually here. So this is.
I see nothing. Oh, now I see it.
Yes, yeah. You have a delay. So you actually see this, and then you'll know it's a dedicated condo because it has a little icon next to it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's no username.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm joining it, which is going to be a weird condo. It's just my testing condo, where I test all the I/O features. So it's not going to make a lot of visual sense. But anyways, yeah, you can if you want to join me, Maddie,
this place.
I can show you.
I don't have the game open.
Oh well, it's hard to.
Do you want me to? I'll.
Yeah.
Come
join
okay.
so I can show the permission stuff real quick.
Well,
and then we can move the Cat Cafe.
I'm frazzled.
It's easy. Just join.
You have to riff.
I have to riff. I'm gonna riff.
Yeah. Tell them a story while I open the game.
I'll tell them the story of my beautiful I/O condo there, and then.
Okay. Yeah.
Check this out.
Talk
See,
about that.
it started with a button, and then it moved to a switch, and then it moved to a timer. That's it. That's my story. My story's getting boring already.
Mac, I'm a mess. I'm in the wrong account.
Oh my god.
I'm in the wrong universe. I'm on the wrong planet.
Well, this is this is fun. Well, someone else joined. You know what? Someone beat you. Maddie, someone's already here.
Was it? Who was it? Okay. Thank you, milk carton.
Milk carton. Alright, so here. I'll show it with this person.
Thank God.
It's fine. So you can do it just like any other condo, essentially. So you have the permission settings, and then you can just give them permissions. And the other change that was made is permissions save now properly, which is awesome. So if you actually give them build permissions and stuff, or No clip permissions. How dare you say that in my stream? How dare you say milk? No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so you can do all this stuff. You can be like, hey, this person can have media admin, and it'll save forever. Same if you've already done this with condos, you'll know that it's a thing. And then this is the other new feature is moderation tag. So moderation tag is separate from every other permission, so you can decide what permissions you want to give them, but moderation tag is just kind of a way to tell other people who are joining this person is important. It's different from the admin tag, so you can basically be like, give them nothing and give them moderation tag. So it's just a way to tell people this person's important to the community. I want to expand on it. I'll probably make it so you can change the name and stuff like that because that was some feedback I got from it. But that's a small feature. So yeah, you can do all this stuff and give them admin, and it'll save, and it'll work for dedicated condos and everything. So it's really nice. So I've been kind of cleaning up all that stuff. Anyways, let me get out of here.
Next question. Will ports open up with UPnP, or will it require forwarding the port?
You will have to, for dedicated condos, forward the ports. That's you're gonna have to forward the ports. I'm closing the server. But yeah, you'll have to forward the ports yourself. Sorry. There's not too many ports to forward, and that's also on the guide as well.
This is unrelated, but I think it's funny. Sorry to ask again, but would it be possible to include a murder mystery game in Terry Night?
Oh yeah.
No.
No.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's completely.
We've talked about it before, so we've talked about a lot of games, but we have brought up the making murder.
Yeah, the answer is no. It's not possible, and I hope you never ask again. The next question is, will there be a way to export your condos into a file that could be able to open up in a 3D model viewing program? Sorry if I have no idea what the F I'm talking about.
Probably not. I don't know how to do that yet, because, well, the thing is, in order for you to do something like that, you would need all the models, like, of tower. So,
right.
Probably not, sorry.
Rest in peace.
You need every model of the entire game to do that, which is, like, a lot. So...
Someone asked, do you guys really have 2 condos internally named Lobby 1? I'm sure that doesn't get confusing.
Yeah, welcome to that. So
don't even get me started.
Yeah, don't get, yeah. Oh. We made the first one, it was Suite. It was the first one. And so we made it as like, oh, it's the Lobby 1 Suite. So this is such an old map, like that was when we first started. So the naming scheme stuff was kind of like, I think we'll be fine kind of thing, kind of attitude. And then Resort was made, and that was actually Lobby 1. So now there's 2, so that's great. I have thought about renaming it, but renaming it, you'll have to go through and like add backwards compatibility for all the save data. So I'm not sure if it's worth it, but there's it's annoying. I'll tell you. Not intentional, but that's what happens when we started. That was like over 9 years ago. So it's one of those things where you got to make sure you do that right first, which we're careful of that now, but I wish I could tell myself that 9 years ago. Anyways, yes, Maddie.
I'm looking. I'm sorry. I'm having a moment again. Does it do automated backups? Important question.
Yeah, there's a feature for that. There's a feature for autosave as well. So right now when we're gonna release the dedicated condos though, just so everyone knows, it's gonna be just not editable. You can edit what is there, but you can't spawn anything new. So we're working on spawning items. So it'll be released in in phases, because we want it so people can host what they have right now. And then the other thing is, of course, you can edit your condo outside of the dedicated condo and then just update it. That's another thing you can do. So, but Yeah, there's a couple things with editing that we have to figure out still, but the idea is that you can edit pretty much all of that stuff, and then there is a backup and save system. And there also, for if you have Condo admin, you can like manually save as well. You just click save and it'll just do that. So
Why do I get lost in the sauce? Oh, dedicated plazas. Are we
so,
getting them?
so
We used to.
we had that when we first started the project, and then we pretty much in like a month from that we decided no, because the plaza stuff is all secure with units and stuff, and we can't let people host their own plazas because of that. So we switched it to be condos, which allows people to make anything. So they can make their own plaza, they can make their own kind of game thing. Which brings me to the next thing to talk about. I am actually working on a condo currency system, which is a per player currency system, and it's tied to their Steam accounts. And that'll work for dedicated condos and non-dedicated condos and workshop condos as well. So if you make a workshop map with currency, it'll also save locally for people when they're playing that map. So anyways, I am working on a condo currency system. Essentially, what that means is you can define different currencies. I'm thinking like probably 10 is going to be the cap. And these are currencies you can either display on the HUD or the scoreboard or nothing. Like don't display them because sometimes you want hidden currencies and stuff if you would like for puzzles and things like that. But essentially it'll be currency that saves to your dedicated condo or to your condo. So whoever's the host essentially. And so you can use that to build your own kind of economy or use it for puzzle maps. It can be whatever you would like for currency. It's just basically a variable essentially. And that is something I'm working on right now actually. And I hope to have that out when we do the dedicated condos. We'll see. Like the first release at least. And that'll allow people to just make IO around it too. So I'll have a bunch of IO features for currency, and but it won't be synced with Steam though. So it's not like the same as units. They don't condo currency doesn't interact with units at all. They're their own thing. So it's really up to what you want for your condo and what you want to use it for. So you can use the currency stuff for anything that you can imagine. So
if you want people to be able to buy like a beer in your condo,
you
you
could
can
do
give it the
a price.
NPC a bunny
Yeah,
plush and it'll give you a
yeah,
beer.
yeah. If your currency is like bunny plushes, yeah, you can do that. So and I'll have IO devices for you to do exchanges like that. So that is something I'm working on because I think that would be really really cool, and I know people have been asking for a while, so I'm also working on
Biscuit asked, "What's the limit on currency type
that.
per player?"
Oh, it's when I said 10 currency types. I think 10's a good round number, but if we needed more, I mean, there really isn't. It's really up to you guys, but I think 10 is a plenty. But essentially, what that means is that's 10 per player. So you could have 10 different currencies per player in your condo per condo. So the way the save system works is it saves per condo map. So you can have 10 currencies per player per condo map, which is quite a lot. And it saves locally, so you can you can use it however you like essentially. And then same with dedicated condos, since it's going to save locally, it'll just it's just sit on the server. So it's authoritative, so no one can manipulate it other than admins, I guess, because I'll probably add some features for admins to adjust people's currencies and stuff, but otherwise it's all done through IO. So when you set it all up, and I'll have all the details for it, I'll make a guide and everything, When you set it all up, it will be as simple as placing down like a trigger volume or a button that exchanges currency, and then you can also do features like, can this player afford it? If they can, go ahead and spawn something or give them something and things like that. So I've been thinking a lot about condo inventory as well. So there's all sorts of things going on about that, but currency is what I'm working on right now.
And yeah, it's not anything related to like an actual payment system or anything using real money.
No,
I
this
saw
is
people were talking about that. It's just like
virtual currency. Yeah, this is
in condo currency, so people can have transactions in their condo.
Yeah, it's so
for
people
like interactive elements.
Yeah, it's so people can just they're virtual currencies. It's just so you can have stuff like you join someone's condo and you've been in that condo for 2 hours, so you got like 200 tokens or whatever. If they had like an arcade-based condo, they made a token, as their currency, or whatever they wanted to make. And it's separate from units, so it allows condo creators to make all sorts of fun interactables and things like that. You can also, like I said before, you can use it for puzzles. So you could be like, did they, go into door 2? If they did, then increment the door currency. You can use it for progress if you want as well.
Or different like amounts, like one, like red gems are 1 and blue gems are 5 and that kind of thing.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff like that. So
and then
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Biscuit asked, can you hide or unhide currencies? So I think Max said
Yeah.
that yes. Yeah.
You can, there's 2 settings on them, show on scoreboard and show on HUD. So you can turn both of those off and it'll just be invisible, essentially. And then if you do show on scoreboard, it will show on their scoreboard list. And if you show on HUD, it will show directly on their HUD next to the units. So you'll have control over that. And then you can name them and set an image for them as well. Like a little icon. So I haven't worked on the menu for that yet, like setting it up, but that is the plan. All right.
Yeah.
Are we ready to do the Cat Cafe now?
I think so. There were other questions, but they were not related.
Okay, well then let's do the Cat Cafe, and then we can do Q&A after that.
Please ask the questions again at a later time.
Yes. Let me see if I got this set up again. Because I am now in
Also, the reason your autocorrect corrected your to your is because it doesn't understand grammar.
Oh, yeah.
Because your could technically be correct.
Did it do it?
But it's not.
It did it. Okay. So this is the Cat Cafe. I actually just went into the stairs.
Oh God, it's
so this is
it's
the
in
Cat
the
Cafe.
void.
Yeah, it's in the void right now.
I'm
I just loaded up
scared.
the map.
Halloween Cat Cafe.
Yeah, ignore the void. So this is for people that don't know, this is sitting next to DIY, and this is a new store for the plaza that has all sorts of delicious desserts and pastries.
Zoom on in there. Get a look at all those pastries. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Eclairs, rolly things, donut.
Rolly things?
Yeah.
Swiss rolls.
Swiss
This
rolls.
is why all
Brownies.
these pastries had been appearing in devlogs for a while.
Yeah. And then we got
Squares.
These macarons. And we got flan, and we got cupcakes, and we got tarts, and we got all these things, pies, and all sorts of different cakes. What is that cake? That cake has missing materials. Ignore that one. I think the lighting is broken on those.
And we don't have Gigaputty, I'm sorry.
Yeah, these are the strawberry waffles. Anyways, and then over here, some other like details is cool. These are also items as well. I think they actually were already released.
These were already released. Yes, all the stuff on the back shelf should be already released, and while stuff on the front counter, it will be available from the store for the most
Okay.
part. The
That
cake
sounds
will
good.
not. The cake and pies will not because those are part of cooking. But eclairs, cinnamon rolls, tarts, etc.
Even the jars.
Cupcakes.
Even the jars. Yeah, even the jars are actually items too, aren't they? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the jars are already released.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so things have been kind of released as they've been made, and then this is the other area, and also the furniture. I think is something that's going to be released too as items.
Also, I
But
wanted to mention the coffee machine is completely invisible and very large, and
it's
it
infinite
is.
coffee. They.
Yeah, you don't want to see it, so be glad you can't.
Yeah, let me get to this. I'll enjoy this giant error message. Hold on. I like how that's how that it zoomed in on. Just zoomed on that giant tooltip. That's cool. Can this show me again, please? There we go.
I thought someone wrote Plox for a second, and I was like, I've not seen that
Hmm.
I
in a
use blocks
1,000
all the
years.
time. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I know. I feel like I hadn't seen it, but it was Plaws.
You haven't used that. Oh, hold on, it's loading
Plox.
something. Give it a second. And then the other section to this is the. Let me walk to it. I'm an editor, so everything is just gonna take longer to load.
Mesos
Is
Plus.
the upstairs. So and the upstairs has all this. Oh my god, all the things is messed up. The lighting's all messed up. I can't show that then.
Ah, fucking nightmare cats.
Yeah, all the lighting's messed up because I'm in the void. Hold on, let me fix that. I need to put down something.
This is the new backrooms level.
No,
The cat rooms.
I need to put something down that's gonna like fix that. Hold on.
That was
Or I could
scary.
just load it up. Like scary versions of it all.
Yeah, like you go up to the cat adoption area, and instead of a cat, there's a scary pumpkin.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. They're still not gonna look amazing, but at least they won't be like completely in darkness. So the other feature is upstairs in the cat cafe. Or it's a cat cafe. Sorry. Oh god. Yeah. Is the cats themselves. Sorry, I messed that all up. Let me try that again.
That was
Let me go
yeah.
up
I
the
want
stairs again. Let
restart
me
from
restart that. Okay, the
yeah.
other section of the cafe is the cat cafe that is upstairs,
Oh
and
my
that features
god.
cats. And as you can see, they're kind of randomly spawning everywhere right now because I'm trying to show off the feature and test it. But you'll come up here and there'll be a bunch of cats that you can go and see, and they'll spawn randomly in different locations. They will spawn pretty infrequently though, so that you can come up here and then like look at them, and then you can go up to them and you can adopt them. So you can. Oh, actually, wow, that one literally was Suki. You can adopt them
Aw.
and bring them home and make them your pet and give them love and feed them and all that stuff. So and there's all these wacky little names for them and different
Little
type.
beanie.
Yeah.
Sans.
Forgot that we put those in there.
I didn't put that in there.
I know.
I like
I did.
Lassie the cat.
Lassie the cat, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the work in progress feature. This update won't be ready until um, after the dedicated condo stuff. Yeah, the names. They're pretty good. So yeah, you'll be able to go up here after, having a sip of coffee and pastry and go up here and look at the cats and adopt them if you would like, or just
Can
look
you
at them.
share the coffee with them?
I do want to make a feature where you can pet them without adopting them, so I will do that too.
Oh, how about give them a treat?
Give them a treat, yeah. That would be nice.
Also,
So yeah, they spawn in
you will
random
be.
places, which is why they're
Sorry.
like going crazy.
You will be able to give them names yourself. You'll have
Yes.
an option in the
Yeah.
pet menu to do that. But why would you want to rename Walter Jr.?
Let me get to the other test too that we've been working on as well.
Yeah, there's quite. Let me look how many names there actually are, because I went through and really buffed up the name list. There are 293 different pet names.
That's a
So,
lot.
yeah. So you're bound to get a wonderful one.
Alright.
Lisa Frank is a good name for a cat.
And then
And yes, there are a lot of normal people names.
yeah, there's all sorts of other names.
Lisa is in there. Jake, Larry.
Alright, I got another thing to show that is pet related. It is this. The dog
Oh,
part.
yeah, and you gotta the dogs.
Yes. So there's
Doggies.
also another new kind of, I guess they're like a store, but not really. But a dog park. And this is it's hard to see because it's chopped off from the plaza. But this is where the backer statues are. This is on the opposite side of that, so that's where this will be sitting. So this is the dog park. And just like the cat store, you can go up and adopt a dog. And there's different dog breeds and stuff, and same as the other like cats, they have names as well.
The scary husky.
Adopt trivia. That name. Snoopy.
My parents had a dog named Trivia.
Oh yeah. It's such a
She's a beagle.
such a weird name on that.
It is, but you gotta put trivia in there.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just like the cat cafe as well. You come over here and check out the dogs that are chilling, and you can adopt them and bring them home. And then that's the next segment that I'm gonna get to. So let me do that. Let me switch over.
Now, can you fight the dogs?
No, you
Like,
cannot.
do they attack you?
No, they don't attack.
Okay. Pork Ruffalo, that is a good one. And it's a double
Here's
fun.
the pet testing.
And there will be no puppy girl adoption center. Sorry. And yes, you can rename them. Ellis, why don't you listen? And how many pets can you have, Mac?
As many as you want.
100,000.
100,000. As many as you can afford. Before your computer melts, I suppose.
Yeah. You can have as many pets as Ellis Cake has lights in her condo. Which is 100,000.
Alright, so let me show off this little debug demo of the pets. So when you adopt a pet, let's see, we got this one. You can have it do a bunch of stuff. So you can be like, go to bed, or go eat, or dance, but they won't dance unless you have more love. And then you can also set their names, so you can set their pet name. But of course, you can pet them. I mean, and that increases their love for you. It's actually very simple. So you should do that more, do that often. And then there's energy for them. And that's when, when they sit down, they'll gain a little bit of energy because they're kind of relaxing. And then when they're laying down, they'll gain even more energy. But if you want to replenish their energy completely, they can go sleep. Ignore the giant debug things, but
Ask Natasha anything. She'll answer.
yeah. And then
She's
you
like
can
one of
also
those
have them follow
carnival
you.
games.
And they'll follow you. Of course, they'll use energy as they follow you around and stuff. And they'll only follow you and do that stuff if you give them love and attention. And then of course they'll dance, which is
Can she trip you while you're trying to make dinner?
But if they dance too long, they get out of energy, so now they can't do much. You go. So go sleep. You can also hold on. You can also have them eat food. So I need to put food in the bowl. There we go. And so there you go. Now they're eating. And pretty much that's how it works here. And so you can also have other pets lay in the same bed, so they can sleep together. Though this bed is only 2, so if a third, he's gonna be like, well, I can't go there, so I'm gonna go to this bed that I also can't go to because it's too high up. What kind of owner is this?
Yeah, that's kind of really
messed
mean.
up. It's kind of rude.
And you didn't answer my question. Can they trip you?
Can they trip you? No,
Yeah, while you're making dinner.
They don't have collision. I'm sorry. I could make
Not
them
realistic.
have collision. If that's what you want, I can do that. Oh, he won't. He just doesn't want to go to bed. He hates me.
Biscuit wants bunnies.
I want to convert the turtles over to this too.
That's exactly like bunnies. So.
Yeah, that's just like bunnies. So, and then let's see. Oh, they're sleeping. They don't want to deal with anything right now. And so yeah, there's all sorts of little things to do.
Oh. Someone asked, will they be able to hop up on counters and tables and stuff like that?
Not yet. I'm trying to figure out a bunch of stuff with. Here's one thing though, is if you do this, they do actually like. Oops, I teleported. They do actually like find you through like crazy collisions and weird mazes. But yeah, if you no clip, they'll teleport with you right now. I'm probably gonna get rid of that actually. Oh no! Help! No!
We need a dog calling instrument,
Oh, he's
like
stuck
in
there
Zelda.
now. Get up! What are you doing? Oh my god! I gotta get him over. Can't get up from that. That's not a pool. That's not a normal pool.
Yeah,
Anyways,
like some sort of dog whistle.
Dog whistle, yeah. So that's kind of what we've been working on with the pet stuff. It's getting there. It's pretty cool. I think another thing that's really interesting to me is like if you go, here's another example. If you tell them to go eat, they'll go find the food. So you can actually see like the tech behind that. They'll actually literally go find the food. No matter where it is, as long as it's somewhere.
The most casual.
In the most casual way. Look.
He's taking his
He's
time.
hungry. He's gonna take his
He's
time.
not that hungry.
He's not that hungry. He's hungry. So he'll get there.
And someone asked,
I got stuck.
will they be able to like dig or find anything in your condo, like any interactivity like that?
I think it'd be something to explore. Honestly, it'd be really cool to do some more stuff like that. But we have these systems where like they can drink and stuff. So like they know, like we can add stuff like that. Have them go dig and explore. That'd be fun to explore. That would be fun to explore, honestly. But right now, this is all they have. So.
And will the toy robot become a pet as well?
That thing is dangerous. That thing.
It's awesome.
Sets things on fire. I don't know. I wanna add more of like the things that we do have. Like I want to see if we can add crab as a pet one day.
Crab.
Yeah, make the crab pets like a little more and use this system.
I want the melons to be
the melons.
pets.
They roll around. Well, they could.
Yeah.
They wouldn't
You
have
can
a lot
feed
of
them melon
animations.
food.
They just kind of sit there.
Uh, can you
Melon.
train them? Well, they do have the affection level, I guess, but
Yeah.
it's not like an actual training thing. It's just they won't do tricks unless you're
Yeah, they won't.
interacting with
He's
them.
not gonna like do a little dance unless he's happy. So I want to play around with how affection works a little bit more, but it's one of those things where it decreases over time. So if you don't pay attention to him, you know,
Mhm.
you have to build up the trust more. Right
Yeah,
now,
you're
it's
too busy
pretty easy though. So I might change that.
busy riding around in your inner tube.
I might make different types of food as well.
Mhm.
Like gives them more happiness because you
Mhm.
bought them better food than that crap food. That'd be fun to explore too. But
Yeah, well, they leave to go buy milk, like in Club Penguin.
no.
If you
If you
if you
don't, you
don't
don't
take
give them.
care of
Yeah.
them.
There's no like failure for them in that way. Like they're not gonna leave you. They're just gonna sit there.
They just hate
They're just
you.
gonna be like this forever and just
Mhm.
not like you. Cause can this guy? He's not very happy. For example,
Mhm.
see now that he's happy, he'll get up. So just things like that. So anyways, that's kind of the pet system right now. Just kind of working through it. I thought it'd be fun to show off where we're at. It's not ready yet, but it's getting there.
I
So.
think someone asked earlier if they'd be able to interact with other players in your condo.
Oh, well, whoever has permissions for editing items, they
Mhm.
can follow them and they can interact with them as well. But I
Okay.
I would like to have something like that too. It'd be cool to have um, tell them to greet someone. That would be pretty neat.
Mhm.
There's all sorts
And
of
they are just
things.
a condo
Yeah,
thing.
these are
They
just
don't.
in the condo. Yeah, they are not in the lobby. So they'll stay in your condo when you go to the lobby, waiting for you, staring, hoping that you'll come back.
Um, yes, I do think that people you have ignored are basically auto blacklisted because you wouldn't be giving them permissions to touch your
Oh
animal.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
No,
so it's
uh,
kind of a built-in
people people who
blacklist.
cannot who are not the owner of the condo or do not have edit permissions, all they can do is pet. They can only pet them. They can't access this menu. Only you can.
Mhm.
So they can't tell the pet to do anything other than to pet them. Like that's all they can do. So
Mhm.
and if we
I
want
think we should prevent that from even happening. You can't even look at my pet.
that could be something we could add, like just don't ever greet this person. I hate them. But I
I
don't hate them
specifically
enough
hate this
to to
person.
to block them, just enough to passively block them. There you go. So, anyways,
Um,
I don't really have much else
and
to
Biscuit asked
show.
about fetch.
Fetch is
Do they play
something
fetch?
I think I want to try to do. Yeah, for
Hmm.
I don't think it's
Probably isn't
particularly.
too hard.
No, it's very similar to the eating food.
Mhm.
I'm thinking about it in code. It's not particularly that difficult. It's just
Because
another
it'd basically
interaction.
be like setting a target for them,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You would
Yeah.
throw the whatever, the stick, and it would just tell them, hey, go for that. I would think if
Mhm.
fetch was an option though, you'd have to give them some love before they'd actually go fetch.
Yeah.
So if you throw the stick and they don't have any love, they'll just stare at you.
Mhm.
Like I don't want to go.
And we need to give cats the beloved spring toy. So
Oh yeah. Oh
that would be fun to animate and network.
yeah. No, go on. I can't think of anything else with the
And
pets though.
can they
That's
do
it.
stuff on their own? Can't you can let it roam around
Yeah, there's
on
a
its own, right?
I didn't show it, but there's an option called Go Explore.
Mhm.
Um, which I guess I could show real quick since I still have it open.
And I did tell Mac about the laser pointer.
Yes,
idea.
I know about that. There's fetch and laser pointers. I gotta do it. So you can tell them to go wander, go explore, and they'll basically go wandering around, and then every now and then they'll sit down and relax, of course, but like you just did. But if they don't have enough energy though, they'll just sit down for a while before they start traveling again. You're just
The way he looked at you.
Yeah, there was a couple bugs that were pretty funny that came up when they like stared at us like backwards, and I was like, oh no, it's cursed. So, and then different dogs have different speeds and stuff,
So you're telling me the corgi is a different speed than the German Shepherd?
yes, and then also the energy is based on their speed too. So if they have more energy, they're faster, and less energy, they're slower. Pretty simple. So yeah, you can have them just wander around your condo and chill out.
Very
And
cool.
they'll just go look. This is not much of a condo though. This is just an empty void. But
Yeah, you really didn't give
I
them
really
a
decorated
lot
this.
of like
This yeah. This is kind of
love and
sad.
affection.
Yeah, sorry. They'll be moved into a better place
They don't have any
than the
rats to
void.
eat or rabbits to eat. These are carnivorous dogs and cat.
Yeah, it's like that game, Tokyo Jungle.
Oh, hats. Do they get hats?
I have thought of that. Not yet. I think we should do it though. I think we should have like specific hats though for them that you buy.
Yeah, there should be pet accessories.
Yeah, pet accessories.
My
would be
dog will
something.
hunt down workshop items.
Pet accessories would be pretty cool.
It finds and destroys any item you dislike.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's not a setting to like have them chase people or anything, but there could be.
Yeah, there could be. I honestly, it's kind of why I wanted to show off all this stuff, anyways, is get some more ideas on what people are expecting and what they feel, and some features that they really want. Because it sounds like people really want, fetch and laser pointers and stuff for sure. So it's something to work on.
Yeah. So Q&A then?
Yeah. I have nothing else to show. I mean, I have other things, but nothing I want to show today.
What does that mean?
Oh, we've been working on a lot of stuff. It's been kind of
Yeah.
crazy. We have been working on a lot of like the cooking stuff. We've been working on a lot of the controllers, the VR stuff. It's just been a lot of different projects that are getting completed at different rates, and some's just not ready to show off right now. But God, we've been chugging pretty fast actually on all this stuff. And then
Yeah.
I know we've also been working on some other thing as well, but I'm not gonna mention it.
This other thing.
This other thing. So.
All right,
So yeah, let's do
everybody,
Q&A.
say every single question you've ever had in your entire life. I will start with, will there be pet birds?
Pet birds. Honestly, I would don't ever ask me yes or no on these things. I will literally say yes to
Probably
everything.
yes.
I would like to add pet birds, but we have to, make a pet bird. So we're gonna have to model and animate a pet bird.
Mhm.
But
Okay. Next,
yeah, I would like that. That'd be cool.
rapid fire. Next question. When will the accelerate problems be fixed? So basically, when's the next accelerate update, Mac? Get on it.
When the Accelerate SDK is done, I'm going to be fixing some more issues with Accelerate. Though I don't know what particular issues they're talking about. So
They said audio before the countdown,
Uh-huh.
the final lap, and the sound slowdown timer music.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, the music stuff I know about. I'm gonna fix
Report
that.
this all on the forums.
And report them on the forums as well. But I do know about the music stuff or the issues with the music, and I do know about the last round. I also know about a bug where sometimes you can't pick up items, which is really not cool. So I'm gonna be working on more bug fixes for Accelerate after I'm done with all this stuff, because now this is out of the way. I'm gonna go back to doing more bug fixes, and then I do want to have the Accelerate SDK so people can make
which
custom
will be
maps.
very fun.
Yeah. So.
And the classic, will you be able to trade question, and that is a no. We won't have trading for any
No item
items,
trading.
just because we don't want to have a game economy.
We don't have a game economy, and we don't really have the ability to manage such a crazy thing. It's like, it's way too much.
This isn't a question, but I'm still gonna ask it. Please take a look at VR bindings ?
Yes, that is. I am actually working on that, so don't worry. It's happening. The VR bindings thing is really kind of frustrating. I looked into it before and I had it update and I tested it and it was working, but for some reason it didn't ship properly. So I got to go back into that and fix the config, and then that will actually make it work for a lot of people. So I do know about that. It's on my plate. It's very high up on my plate.
When will cooking release? That will be after pets, right?
Yeah, cooking is scheduled to be after the pet update. And there's lots of work on cooking actually behind the scenes. We have the trading for cooking, if you call it trading, where you exchange the items. That's all working, and now we're at the setting up all the remaining recipes, and we have a couple more food items that we need to make to finish off the recipes. And so that's kind of where that's at. It's going on pretty well, but it'll be after the pet stuff. And we'll do another stream for cooking.
Since the cat cafe is next to DIY, will it be immediately visible once you go up the escalator and look behind you?
Yeah.
It'll be where the entrance to DIY used to be. So DIY's been split in half. So it's
where that empty wall is currently.
Yeah.
That's why it's an empty wall.
And then someone asked, is there any possibility or give a time frame when you can update the YouTube embed thingy to support playlists, live streams, etc.?
Playlist is different. I think you actually have to do a weird API call for playlist. I could be wrong. I have to look into that. I do know we can add short support. We just have to do a couple things to make shorts work. So that would be nice to touch on. But right now I'm kind of focused on the other features we were talking about before we do any more media changes. So I don't have an estimated time on it.
Okay. Biscuit asked, when it comes to triggers, can we get a way to restrict prefixes based on names, like the physics slot IO, so the trigger will only go off for a player name or a mover name, etc.? Heart emoji.
That would be pretty good. You should post that in there's an IO thread somewhere. You should post that in the
Come
IO
on, Biscuit,
thread.
you know this.
If you have already, I guarantee you I have bookmarked it and put it in my notes. So. But yes, I would like to. I mean, I always like adding stuff like that to IO. It's fun because people need them.
Will you be able to export the medieval stuff from Little Crusaders and make them available as condo items? That's always going to be a thing that we're trying to do, is make things that already exist into items, right?
Yeah.
With a lot of those props, I mean, first off, they're also stylized, so that does limit their usability to a degree, but I have to go in and edit their materials and make them usable, because if they aren't coloring, my head is on a silver platter. So I have to make sure that they're usable in that way.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Ethan's you have to very particular.
You gotta add coloring.
It needs to be perfect.
Sometimes you gotta add like interactions, and sometimes you gotta add.
Sometimes
variants.
I gotta remodel them. Sometimes I have to add interactions. Sometimes. Yeah.
Sometimes they're missing like pieces because they're made for the map.
Yes.
So.
Also, the Burb pet already exists.
That's true.
You should play more Little Crusaders and you'll find it.
It's a milestone.
That was brutal.
It's brutal.
can we have permission volumes where players can only build within a certain area?
It is on my list. I'm not.
And then someone also asked about visibility volumes.
Yes, visibility volume actually was working on. So,
Isn't it in this beta?
it kind of is. It's half. Actually, is it? I think it is. Yeah.
I think you included it
It's
in the
half
item
done.
manifest.
It's almost done. Visibility volume is very close to being finished. I just have a couple bugs I gotta iron out for it, but otherwise it works. And it does the things it needs to do.
We've got any updates on global chat or plaza orbs?
Global chat is actually. I would like to show off that working, but not yet. But there is stuff behind the scenes being made for it. It's pretty close. Closer than it was last time we talked about it, that's for sure. Global chat's pretty complicated. We're basically making our own chat system, so like our own chat platform. But we finally figured out a way that should be pretty easy for us to implement, and then not have it break down like the old global chat did. So, because old global chat was working until there was like 200 players or so, or 100 players, and it started falling apart. But we made a new system, and hopefully we can get that out, as soon as possible.
Okay. How viable are canvas splines as a feature?
What does that mean? Like a
Like
a rope with
like-
canvas?
well, yeah, like the canvas tube or whatever, the spline tube for mini golf, but instead of that, it's a cylinder or a cube or something that's being stretched out along the path.
No, you just need to give. You have to do it for me.
I have to do it.
I
Ethan
need.
has to do
You gotta make a
everything.
model for me, and then I can
You
make
already
it work.
have the cylinder and cube models.
Alright,
Come on,
well, it's not that.
come on, sister.
Not that difficult then.
Yes.
It's usually ends up being I don't have time because I have other things. But yes, spline stuff's not particularly difficult because we actually made a system for the ball race editor. So
And
we
Ethan
could
is the
just
sweatshop
reuse that.
worker.
Yeah, Ethan, I need the model for it. If you have a model ready,
I
then
like how you didn't say it like sympathetically. You're like, yeah, he is, and he needs to get back to work.
no. If there's already a model, then I'll do it.
You
I'll
could
set
just
it up.
reuse the existing models. Like, come on.
I don't know. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes like the spline
Well,
stuff's a little
you
weird.
test it and you tell me what's wrong.
Well, I will. Anyways,
so-
it's not
so
particularly hard to
any-
do spline stuff. It's just finding a time to do it and then figuring out what model to use essentially.
Also, it'd be a bit more resource intensive, but
Yeah, when you set up
that's to be expected.
splines, they do have more resource to them, but because they have to generate in real time.
Did we really make this game?
Don't answer that, Ethan. You don't have to answer that.
Yes, we did.
It's like Star Wars. George Lucas didn't make Star Wars. It was made in editing.
Any estimated ETA? Doesn't ETA mean estimated time of arrival?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not criticizing. I just was confused.
Yeah, I know.
For localization, we started working on
yes.
some stuff for that, but we got a little bit hindrance reference.
So as far as localization goes, we spent a lot of time setting up all the UI for it, which is like we went through all of the text that's in the game, and we got it all exported, and then now we're setting up crowd in. So hopefully we'll have some more news about that either this month or next month. But we're pretty close to getting the crowd in stuff done, so people can start helping translate. Because I think we were pretty close to doing it, but then we got some other stuff that ended up getting on our plate.
And then, will we ever get the ability to pin achievements and our EXP onto our HUD, like in Team Fortress 2, so we don't have to constantly bring up the collection book to check achievements?
There's been a lot of people asking for that. I guess we should probably schedule time to do it. Making pin stuff like that isn't particularly difficult. I've been working on using the new save system more. So pinning would be better to use use the new save system that'll help make it faster. So I will put it on my list again because I always keep forgetting to do that. But pinning is pretty fun. I think when I'm
it's helpful.
when I'm trying to complete an achievement, I think pinning an achievement is a very useful feature.
Someone said, kind of a weird question, but will the nightclub have any events like DJ promotions with a live DJ playing? We've actually had requests for that more often than you might expect, like from actual musicians. It was something we wanted to try to do at one point, like to be able to have like a promotion with someone, but it just again is kind of a niche feature that got kind of put to the side. But it is something that's come up, and I just don't know if it'll ever be something we follow through on.
Kind of just, we have so many things we're busy with that it's hard for us to manage that as well. So we'd have to dedicate a lot of time to make those things happen.
We did answer your question about the medieval things, and you'll never guess what we said. So
just to recap, we can. Doing props from game modes or game worlds rather is on my to-do list always. We now have Caleri's exports, so it's not
we have a place for it.
Yeah, now we have a place for them, so it's not like awkward like with the Sweet Tooth stuff. But with all game world props, there's always a hurdle of me having to basically rework the model or redo the texture, and always redo the material. But sometimes the props aren't usable at all. Like if you've been building for a while, you know about the bunk bed prop, which came from the original Desertion, and when that was designed, it wasn't intended to ever be seen up close or in detail. It was just something you ran past. And so I plan on remaking it at some point, but it's stuff like that, and in other cases, it's something that's against a wall, so it doesn't have back faces, or it wasn't intended to be colorable or something you really interact with. So I have to add new features to it and redo the material entirely in Krita, because I don't use Photoshop. But yeah, just to recap.
Yes, I appreciate that. I liked leaving it ambiguous, so I'm glad that you gave that person what their answer actually was.
I live to please.
Someone asked, would it be possible to add more of the existing player animations as NPC poses, like the alternative sitting poses for invisible seats?
Yeah, I think it's one of the things that was on my to-do list as well. Adding those isn't particularly difficult, but I do know that the code for the NPC stuff's a little old, like the poses stuff, so I probably want to redo that whole thing. And it'd be nice to have it so when we add new animations, the new animations get added instantly. So I kind of want to recode that so it's easier for. Also, it's so many animations. I might want to make a new selection menu too, so it's easier to find which animation you want to use. So.
And we're kind of basically out of questions. There's some about when will you guys add a backside to the mountains for more immersive building out of bounds?
Oh yeah.
This one.
Like landscapes.
Isn't that on a condo per condo basis? Because I know the ones in Villa have backsides already, but
it's probably resort, right? That wouldn't.
It might be the default condo, because I believe those don't have a backside, and I've used that to kind of eliminate if I needed to build in default condo. I would build out of bounds over there, and since you can't see the mountain, it just looks like you're in a void when you look up at the sky when you need it open. thing. I guess House also has it, but yeah.
And then do you want to just finish with like a
Yeah.
couple more?
Just a couple
Okay.
more and we can be done.
So, someone asked, is the plaza still going to be expanded? We do have the ocean expansion waiting, and some other artisanal features, if you will. But nothing too huge. And like there'll be new arcade games, and maybe new casino games at some point, but nothing like there's not going to be a whole new building somewhere, I don't imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems about right.
And then the most important question for last is can you add measuring tape tool to the tower glove?
That might be a pretty good idea, yeah.
That might be a pretty good idea, he says.
Measuring tape.
And ocean exploration, you'll be able to go in the ocean and explore it.
Ocean exploration, we still need to talk about a little bit more before we can.
Yeah.
But we're getting all this stuff done now, so.
It was supposed to involve like boats and little treasure islands and stuff like that. If you can't swim, you can't play in the ocean.
Original idea is you go to the boat rental and you rent a boat and then you go out into the ocean, but it's like its own thing. So not its own like game world, but it's like
it's a separate map.
It's more like condo instances that you join, but you can't edit them. So think of them more like adventure maps, but miniature.
Yeah.
There won't be floaties. You have to learn how to swim.
You have to learn, yeah.
Another thing that could potentially talk about is you've been doing some cleanup work on Planet Panic.
Oh yeah. Well, we didn't talk about Planet Panic much yet because I want to show off gameplay when I do that, but we have been working on Planet Panic gameplay. We have a better idea what we're going to do to make the gameplay better, and then we started fixing up the networking for it and the projectiles and picking up things and adding better movement. And then level design wise, we're coming up with different ways to make the levels more fun and making the orb pickup stuff more fun. So we have been working on Planet Panic as well. I guess it's like kind of like what I was saying earlier in the stream. Like there's all sorts of different like projects going on all at once, and different people working on different things. But
as usual.
As usual. But Planet Panic has a lot of stuff that worked on a couple weeks ago, and then we took a break from it for right now. But I do want to have like I want to have another stream for that and have like show off the gameplay though, instead of just talking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been going on.
I went through and did that arcade review of the prize amounts and the ticket rewards and stuff like that.
Balancing the ticket prices for the games, yeah. That would be good too.
Yeah. So did you want to be done?
Yeah, I don't know if there's really much else. There's one last question, which was the drivable cars. I guess I can answer that real quick, and then we can end there. Yeah, I think we're going to add some more vehicles. I mean, that was the whole point of room speed. So there's going to be more vehicles. I wanted to add a golf cart and make that drivable in the plaza. But it'd be cool to have like stationary vehicles in the condos where you can press E on them and then like drive them around and then get out of them. That would be something that'd be really cool. But I don't want to promise like that's going to come out soon just because we have all this other stuff going on. But it is something that's on my like list. Like there's like the list I have is insane. But I think about this stuff all the time. I want to add if you were to ask me about condo stuff, I would add like as much as I could. I really like adding stuff to the condos. I really like adding Condo.io. It's just really, really fun to work on. And I know type of stuff people really want to make too, because I play all the condo maps and I go, oh, these people want to like turn off the HUD. They don't want the HUD in their condo. They're trying to make something spooky, but it's like, well, they can't. So I have to, I'm like, I want to make that. You can disable the HUD. You can disable the hotbar. You can, I want to add all those features so people can make anything they want. And then also, the currency stuff I talked about earlier. Giving people options to make progress. So it's all there. I got a ton of ideas, and it never stops. The ideas keep going.
And they don't stop coming.
They don't stop. And I just want to get them out as soon as possible, all the time. This update, in particular, the beta, it seems like it's going pretty well on the first day, but we'll roll out, I guess just to end the stream, we're going to roll out another release for the beta to add the extra shelves for the rental store. And then if things go well, we'll probably release the rental store next week. And then from there, we'll get the dedicated condo stuff ready to go so people can host dedicated condos. We have to do a token system still, but we're not almost, but we're getting through that. So, and then once that's done, I have to do a couple more things for the guide, and based off of what people said here today. And then we'll release the dedicated condos, and then after that we'll have the cat cafe update with the pets, and then after that our goal is to get the cooking update. And then we'll have, of course, all these like things in between those updates. We always add like little features, but they're big for other people, like the visibility volume we talked about, the condo currency we talked about, things like that. Those will be released when they can. So don't know what else there is.
Yeah, I think there was a question on Discord that I forgot to ask about what was it? It was about having like an SDK for the workshop models.
What does that mean?
It's is there ever any time we'll get a proper SDK for avatar creation? It's come to my concern. Like people can use your models or whatever. I guess it's. I don't really know.
Well, we already have an SDK for workshop models. You mean models?
I guess they're asking if it would be something like more like what VR chat does.
Oh, you mean like they're probably talking about like private models and stuff?
Yeah.
Personal models. Well, there really isn't a lot of options on Steam for that. Like, you can unlist a model, but you can't really like lock it to a certain person. So that has been something that's been brought up to me, though. I've thought about how we can do something like that, but right now it's all public models. So.
Oh yeah, and Biscuit mentioned being able to not equip models from the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Could be a way to just.
Well, you could do something where like you can tag it or something. That's what I'm thinking. Like if we had, because the way I would do it is I would have it so when you go to upload, you mark it for private use, and then that would add a special flag on it, and then people can't like open it up in the scoreboard, things like that. But we have to think about all the tech stuff behind doing that, because Steam is meant to be like Steam Workshop is meant to be public, so they don't really have a lot of like features that would prevent it from people using it. So we have to make our own system essentially.
Yeah.
And we're not going to drop Steam Workshop support for Tower. So we've talked about it a lot, but we aren't dropping that. So we have to work with what we got.
Yeah. Okay, I just remembered.
But we can
I told them I'd ask that.
We'll figure it out. That's something people really want. That's how I've always done with Tower, and if that's what people want and that's what people, are excited for, try to figure out how we can do it, and we just figure it out.
Mhm.
Hopefully we can get it done.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
All right. Get out of here, Mac.
All right.
Go away.
I'm heading out. Thanks everyone for coming and seeing all the stuff we worked on. And until next time, I suppose.
Adios.
Do you have anything else to say? Anyone else?
No.
No. All right.
No. Why would I have anything to say?
I don't know.
I'm just
All right. kidding.
Thank you guys for
thank you all
asking
for
questions
coming
and
here
being here.
and supporting us and supporting the game, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Goodbye, my little
Bye.
pickles.